there's no excuse anymore, is there, for any of us, really? We have all the knowledge, we have all the information. It's just a matter of how much of it we are willing to avail ourselves to, listen to, digest, apply to our lives. And if we choose to ignore all the information we have relative to relationships and individual enrichment and betterment, then it's on us. At the end of the day, it really does come back to us as individuals. If we make wrong choices, now with all this technology, it doesn't matter what it is, there's information now that we would never have had 50 years ago, even 10, 20 years ago, for us to be the best possible version of ourselves that we can be. So why don't we take it in? Why don't we listen? Why don't we learn to be better for ourselves? Well, it's just a matter of laziness, isn't it? That's the big down of the day. Stubbornness is connected to laziness, because stubbornness will hold you out of where you need to be. It'll hold you in a place that won't let you advance. Stubbornness is directly connected to our sinful nature, which causes us to be passive. It wants us to degenerate. It wants us to remain idle and rot, as it were, in a way, away from what we should be instead of what we could be. And this narcissizing, this internal narcissizing, is a daily battle. You have to stop yourself from being empowered by your self-destructive, innate, fallen, sinful nature. Now, it's something that's daily, because you'll wave in and out of it. It'll be there one minute, gone the next. It'll be deceiving you one minute, not the next. This is why a lot of people will say, I don't know what caused me to do what I did. Well, I'm telling you, it's your sinful nature. It was your sinful nature that got you on drugs. It was the sinful nature that got you on alcohol. It was the sinful nature that made you sleep with that person that you knew you shouldn't have. It was the sinful nature that caused you to ruin a great relationship that you knew you shouldn't have, and now you regret. You look back and go, what made me do that? It was your sinful nature. Why did I make that decision? It was your sinful nature. It was the nature inside of you that's hell-bent on deceiving you and destroying you. And too often we blame the people closest to us as a means of not facing the evil side of us. So we can be getting ruined by our sinful nature. We can be destroying everything that's good around us because of the influence of our sinful nature. And sorry about that. And be completely ignorant of it. And that can be willful, or it can be via deceit. But that's what the sinful evil nature does. It deceives. It's hell-bent on deceiving us away from the things that we need to do or not do to make our lives better, our relationships better. The sinful nature is going to cause us to see things that aren't going to help in a way in which we think they will, and so we make decisions and choices and things like this that are not in the best interest of ourselves or the people that we're in a relationship with. And we've got all this psychology and all these reasons for this and that. It's all got to do with how well our sinful nature can narcissize our thinking. There you go. That's a pretty good way of saying it, isn't it? Our sinful nature narcissizes our thinking. And so what do? We project. when we've wrecked something and we realise we've wrecked it and we've made a bad choice, all of a sudden the person that we're with is a narcissist. And that may not necessarily have been so. Their anger and stuff may have been by reason of and the stubbornness and willfulness of our sinful nature working through us, both male and female. You'll see the females blame men that's been narcissists, and to some extent they probably are. They're probably more just sinners. So a lot of sin gets described to be as narcissism, but it's not. It's just sin, everyday sin, sinfulness, dolled up under the identity, what is believed to be narcissism. And a lot of these conclusions on what narcissism is and isn't is just wrong. And so sinfulness sinfulness gets numbed out. So when somebody's coming up with these ideas of narcissism, and I've seen this, and you sit and speak to them, really what they're talking about is what they've actually done themselves. They've devalued the situation. They've devalued the relationship. And through their projection, right, of themselves, they're running away from themselves and the reality of their own evil, the slight realization, the slight little idea that they've possibly gone evil themselves, be it for a moment or for a week or whatever. Their sinful natures put it over them and deceive them and cause them to narcissize, that is, love bomb, then devalue, then cause a reverse discard or produce a discard in the relationship. And discard can be unresolved in many ways, because a discard is always going to have an element of unresolved attached to it. And this is what narcissizes things. When something's narcissized, it's been devalued. It's been devalued to the point of no value. That's the pinnacle of narcissism, getting what was once highly valued to the point where it's not valued at all. And as a matter of fact, it's repulsed. That's the classic case of narcissism. From high value to repulsion. Let's go with women, they've got a fantastic way of doing this when things don't go their way, be it for the right or wrong reasons. And usually when they have to see right, and they don't want to, they'll narcissize the person that's trying to reason with them. What's that mean? That means they're going to devalue the person that they're with, even to the point of frustration. And frustration can lead to anger and conflict and all this other stuff that we really don't want to experience or haven't set out to produce. So narcissism is identified through devaluation. Illegitimate devaluation. In other words, there's no reason for there to be the devaluation that is taking place. And this is what causes the frustrations and the sadness and the combativeness that people go into when they're being devalued, not at their own wrong or not by their own hands, but by the sinful nature of somebody that has just turned on a dime, flipped the script, and decided that it's time to devalue something, to ruin something that's good. Okay? It was highly valued, then it gets devalued, undervalued, and repulsed. That's how narcissism works, viewers.